Hello, my friends. Welcome to today's demo. I am dressed as a paint palette today. I know it's kind of hard to see there, but you can check on my Facebook and Instagram and on my website to see what my costumes are this week. I'm celebrating Halloween. So today I'm a paint palette. Here is my giant paintbrush that I created. And I even have tiny little paint palette in my hair, which is pretty fun. I don't know if you guys can even see that up there, but it's pretty adorable. But I made it with little paintbrushes and I just thought that was kind of cute. So on Monday this week, I started my week out pretty cheesy, and I was cheese on Monday.
Cheese.
Yes, I even made a little cheese hat. It was so cute. And then on yesterday, on Tuesday, I wanted to wear my mushroom hat that I made last year, because last year I had made a giant mushroom hat, and it's been hanging up on my wall for a year. And I was like, well, I got to be a mushroom again, but I couldn't just be a mushroom because I was a mushroom last year. So this year I was cream of mushroom soup, and I made a little label that said Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, and I wore that and my mushroom hat, and I made tiny little mushrooms and I put them on my leggings, and I was soup. It was so much fun. And so that was pretty adorable. And so then today I'm a paint palette, and I thought that would be pretty enjoyable. So yeah, I think so. So today we're going to be creating art with bubbles, and I thought this would be kind of fun to play around with. And so what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to be normally I try to do a dry run, but I did not do a dry run this time. So we're going to be doing a little bit of an experimentation, and we're going to be using some different kinds of paper here. So this is going to be Star Dream. It's ice gold. It has a very light finish, light coating on it. Then we have the semi-gloss paper. It's very flexible, but it has a little bit of a glossy coating on it. Then we're going to be playing with Chrome Coat, which is heavy gloss on one side but not the other. And we're going to be doing something on Solar White, which is just a standard, nice, smooth cardstock you can do watercolors on. So we're going to be playing with all of these papers today, and then depending which one looks the coolest will determine which one we're going to move forward with. But also it might just be kind of fun to just kind of play around and kind of see what happens. So I'm going to start with Solar White paper, because that's just my standard cardstock color, my standard cardstock, and this nice standard weight, 80 pound. And I'm going to start out by just mixing some food coloring. And so when I was learning about mixing bubble mix, I was trying to figure out which one would make the most sense, which would be best. And so I found that food coloring was really quite cool, and you get some really vibrant colors. So I did 3 drops of just normal food coloring there. And then I'm also just because I just want to see what happens. I don't know how these are all going to work, so we're just going to kind of play. I'm also going to use the Distress ink, the re-inkers. This would be to re-ink an ink pad. And so they have a really long dropper here. Now, I was playing with this concept a little bit earlier using the Distress ink, and I had only done, I think, 6 drops, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I found that I actually am going to use a bit more than that, because it wasn't quite dark enough for what I wanted to do. So I'm going to do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to do 15 drops there. I think I did an extra one. So we're going to do 15, and then I'm going to just take, this is kind of a weird thing I'm going to use here, but I'm just going to take the backside of my paintbrush here to just mix that up there. So that's Wilted Violet. That's the color that I used there. Yep, Distress ink. And then I'm also going to do something with the Distress Oxide re-inkers. I do not know if this is going to work or not. I really just have no clue. But we're going to just kind of play. We're just going to kind of see what happens. Oh! Something slipped. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I'm doing 15 drops in each one.
Pretty color.
Yeah, it is really pretty, isn't that?
Yeah, what is that?
That color is Prize Ribbon. That's one of the newer ones. Yeah, it kind of has like a little bit of a periwinkle look, especially when it's diluted down into the bubble solution there. Okay, so I really just have no clue what's going to happen here, but let's just kind of see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to work with a straw here today, and I'm just going to kind of pick up one of the colors. Again, I don't know how this is going to work out, but we're just going to kind of see what happens here. So I've just kind of dipped it in there until the bubble is created on the end there, and I'm going to get pretty close to the paper. I'm going to blow this out. Oh, that's interesting. Not probably as dark as I would have wanted, but let's just kind of see if I can get some larger shapes here. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Now that's really interesting. I love how it has the splatter look, and you have kind of a dark and a light area there. That's actually kind of cool. So I'm seeing a little bit raised up and then blowing the bubbles on there, and that's kind of fun. And so if you can get the bubbles to stay, let's see, you can actually take another paper and you can actually kiss the bubbles, and you can kiss it, and then you end up kind of getting more of a little bit darker edge there, which I thought was really interesting, because you're kind of pressing it down. And that was something that, whoops, that was something that one of my customers taught me. You can lay that down and then you can actually kiss it and press that down and kind of get an interesting, kind of a darker ring. Oh, hello, my friend. Oh my gosh, you're an adorable butterfly today. So cute.
Bubbles.
Yes. So yeah, so we used the Distress Oxide Prize Ribbon ink there, and I did 15 drops of that in there, and then I'm just dipping my straw in just to kind of see what we can create. So I also wanted to see, because as I was doing this, I wanted to see what would happen with just using the straw versus using the actual bubble wand. Now, if you're going to use the actual bubble wand, you kind of want to be able to rinse it off between your colors. So we're going to just do one color right now, and then if I get a moment, I will go and rinse this off before we do another one. So I'm going to just grab, again, kind of another grouping in here. I think I'm only going to be able to get the tip of that in there. And I think now I'm going to work on a different kind of paper. So now I'm going to work on glossy. And just so you know, we are going to be doing, I'm doing different kinds of paper. So I did the star, I'm going to do Star Dream, right? I just did Solar White. That was the first one. And then I'm going to do Chrome Coat Glossy. And then I'm going to do the thin semi-gloss. And then I'm going to do the Star Dream there. So just so you know. Oh, that didn't go very far at all. You got to kind of blow down, don't we? Oh my gosh, it's huge. Oh my gosh. And I was just telling Linda about how you can actually kiss it and kind of press it down, and you get that really cool kind of splatter effect. Not really anything happens to the other side, but that is just so cool. Oh my gosh, I just love that. Yeah, so that's interesting. So with the bubble wand, you're definitely getting larger bubbles. Woo! Oh, got splashed right in my face. I'm probably going to get blue ink all over me, but that's okay, whatever. Woo! Blue ink all over the place. Oh my gosh, you probably have it all over my face. Well, anyways, I guess I was only able to really accomplish one giant bubble, but hey, I'll take it. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go back to my slightly smaller bubbles because I think the bubble wand is just a little big for me. All right, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a different color now. So now I'm going to do this one. Actually, I want to see how all of these show up on this paper. Oh goodness. Oh, things are falling. We have they're doing construction next door, and so they're
it bumps the wall.
Apparently it's bumping the wall. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. We might hear some more things crashing, but hopefully not. But we will see what happens. Okay, so I'm still going to do the oxide ink because sometimes the oxide ink dries differently on different surfaces. So I really don't know what's going to happen here, but we're just going to try. Ooh, that's interesting. Kind of a grouping there. I'm going to do the kissing technique and kind of press it down. Yeah, kind of different groups. It is kind of fascinating. I know. It's totally different. And if you get down, you can really kind of create just one bubble off the surface. And then if there was a little bit extra ink on there, and again, I'm just going to kind of kiss the surface and create. Oh my gosh, I love what's happening there. The little bubble rings. Oh my gosh, look how cool that is. Oh my gosh, I just love that. Again, I don't really know how that's going to dry. I mean, we're just going to kind of see what happens. But the fact that you're kind of creating some really cool stuff, it just kind of makes me happy. Yeah, it does. Oh, because of the drip effect that's happening. Yes. Let's see. So what happened earlier was I did a dot of the ink actually fell, and then I blew my bubble on top of the ink. And that I think made the bubble a little darker. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, interesting how you can do that. If you have the little droplet on there, you can actually blow a bubble on top of the droplet. And it ends up being a little bit darker because of the ink underneath it, and then again kissing that surface to kind of press them down kind of creates a really cool effect. So anyways, kind of fun. All right, so we're going to kind of let those dry. I'm actually going to grab my heat gun and dry them up a little bit just to kind of see what that final look is going to look like. And if you have any warping, I actually brought my iron today so you can actually flatten the art, flatten the papers down if you're finding that that's an issue, because the papers are all going to get pretty wet, and so I figured that this would make sense. Obviously the Solar White one is going to dry the fastest, but you can see with the semi-gloss that it definitely wants to work a little bit. And I really don't know what paper is going to be best for this technique, so that's why I'm just going to kind of play around and kind of see what ones look the coolest, and then we'll kind of create our final $5 craft based off of what paper looks the best. Okay. I love what has happened here with this semi-glossy paper. It is really, really cool. Look at this giant the giant bow. That was from the bubble wand. That was a good idea. All right. Okay. So thank you so much, my friend. All right. So that's kind of a cool, interesting kind of thing that happened. So now I want to play around now with I'm going to play around with a different color here. So I want to see, I'm going to do something different with, I'm going to go back to the Star Dream paper, because I kind of wanted to see what happens if we were to use the Distress ink on there instead of the oxide ink.
Would you like a cup of water?
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much. You have to rinse my little straw times. Yep, and I'm gonna grab a new straw here.
Those over there on the side.
Yeah, some other colors over here. Yeah. So this is more of the food coloring.
Oh, okay.
And then this one here, I have just some interesting things happening. This one here is also Distress Oxide, but it's actually two colors, Scattered Straw and Villainous Potion made that mix. This here was, again, just green food coloring. And then this here is just black. So again, we're just kind of playing around, kind of just seeing what happens and kind of I don't really know what we'll end up creating here, but it's just kind of cool to just kind of experiment and kind of play. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I needed. So we're going to go ahead and mix in here. This is the Wilted Violet color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to squirt this out again. I'm going right down up to the edge of the surface here. And I think I like the idea of putting like the dot of it down and then in the bubble. Let's see what happens. I really like how dark that is. Yeah, it just creates something just totally
very saturated.
Cool. It is. Yes, I love that. Okay, and then we kind of kiss it and kind of see. Okay, but the other thing I wanted to do here was put some embossing powder on it just to kind of see what happens, because it's obviously still wet on the surface. And I'm like, well, what happens if you put embossing powder on it? So this is a little bit of me just kind of experimenting and exploring and seeing like, well, what would happen if we did this or did this? So let's just see.
So the embossing powder will stick to it.
Yes.
Even though it's not like a versamar place.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? And it's because the bubble solution is still wet, and so it's allowing the embossing powder to actually stick to it.
It's just a wet
Yeah,
solution.
anyways, I don't really know what's going to happen here. Normally when you would do the embossing powder, the clear embossing powder on a background, you would normally get it would be a lot darker and like a lot more concentrated. But because this Star Dream paper has a coating on it, it's not really getting darker. It's just being bonded to the embossing powder and then being bonded to the paper. So again, I don't really know what was going to happen, so we're just going to kind of see. But yeah, you end up with like a really cool texture, and the splatter is also embossed, which is really fascinating. But it just created a really different effect. But anyways, it's just kind of fun to kind of see. I'll like pass that around. You guys can take a look at it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the purple again, but I think I liked the effect the most. I think honestly on the traditional solar white, I think that looks the best. So I'm going to go back and do the solar white again. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this in here. And I'm going to grab this again, and we're going to grab the Wilted Violet color, and we're going to lay this on. And I really want to get a nice concentrated color here. Oh, that's interesting.
And this is Wilted Violet.
Yes, it is.
Look how delicate. So delicate.
On the Star Dream, it really is. It's not as concentrated in color. So I kind of like how that looks with the kind of the double effect. I think that looks really fun. So I'm going to try it out now and add in one other color, because this is also Distress ink, but it's in my black. So I'm going to add that in and just kind of see. And if we get some darker. Oh, I wanted to add more color in. I'd only done 6 drops of this earlier. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I found that 15 drops of the Distress ink really offers enough color to make it a little bit more concentrated. Yeah, the black looks really good on that. Makes it look a little bit more spooky.
That comes out sort of gray.
It does lie a little bit more on the gray side. And that's probably just because it got, it's getting diluted with the water. The bubble mix, but you know, it's basically water and soap.
I kind of love those semicircle bubbles.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I would just love more groupings of them. I want more. I just want more bubbles. but that's okay. All right, so that's kind of a fun thing. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to play with is I'm going to grab another thing of Solar White here. Oh, they're here somewhere. And I'm going to play now with just the food coloring. All right. This does look very cool, though. This was just the Distress Oxide. That was the prize ribbon.
So it doesn't get spattered
I
now.
don't know if you guys wanted to see that, but it looks really cool. I really love these little groupings right in here. Those look really, really fun. All right, so now I'm going to play with food coloring. I'm going to grab a new straw here. Yeah, isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, this green. Oh, that's very cool. I want there to be a lot more green. I'm like, yes, bring on the green.
It turns yellow green.
Yeah, it has the lens a little bit more yellow green. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see this ring around that.
Halo.
Yes, but it looks very, very
Now,
cool.
what paper is that again?
This is Solar White that we're playing with at the moment here.
Now the green changed color.
What if you
Oh,
tried
it was
the-
because I added more color to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, when I added more drops of the color, it became a little bit darker.
The green.
What if you tried the dot? Yeah, the dot and then blow it out.
Yeah, definitely. You have to work quickly.
Sure.
Oh, that was interesting. I talked into it and it a little bubble. Okay. And that kissing technique again. There we go.
Oh,
I like that. Oh, the green looks exceptionally cool on there.
seriously.
And then I'm gonna just do one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. I'm gonna play around on this semi-gloss now with with the red, I think. And then we'll see if anyone wants to play.
More red in it.
Let's see what the color creates here, and then I'll add more drops of needed. Yeah, we are gonna need some more color in here.
Pink.
Gotcha.
It is kind of a pretty pink, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I think I'm gonna go a little bit darker. I just wanted them to be saturated in color. Oops.
Oh, a double one.
Do the little double time. Double time. All right.
Ah,
Oh, interesting. I went back to the semi-gloss paper, but I kind of like the fact that the Solar White left it, because what's happening here on the semi-gloss is that they're moving across the paper, which is an interesting thing that's happening, but it's not quite the effect I'm going for here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move to the Solar White. Okay, so now that I have my plan for moving forward here. All right, so what we're gonna do for our little experiment for our $5 craft this week is we're gonna be doing bubbles, and you can pick kind of whatever color combo you want. So I think I'm gonna actually do a combination of the Distress Oxide and the food coloring for doing my bubbles, because I just love that color combo and I think that would be kind of fun. So we're gonna go ahead and lay them here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my bubbles on my Solar White. Oh no! Spilled. It's bound to happen.
That many bottles.
Yep.
There's
Thank you, Jay.
always an opportunity.
Indeed. It was bound to happen eventually. It's actually a reason why my reason for using water brushes is so you don't knock over a cup when you get excited. And I obviously get very excited. I'm like, yes! Flipping things everywhere! There it goes! Flying! That's gonna be really fun in the fast video later.
That's,
Chaos, chaos, chaos! And then it spilled!
that's why I pulled these over here out of the way.
That's probably a good idea. I love this little separation happening here. Between the different bubbles. And I love the layering.
Are we talking blue flowers
Yes.
with green leaves?
Oh, I don't know. I just wanted to create a fun bubble
I see
experiments.
things.
But yeah, yes. So I am just really loving that. I love how distinct those are.
I love how they overlap.
Yes, the overlapping. So I think that the technique or the key for doing this craft would be to do a background, a first layer in like a lighter color, and then a second layer in a slightly darker color, but in two colors that would like look
So
nice
it's
together.
food coloring first and
Yes.
oxide after.
Yeah, I did the one with food coloring first and then the one with oxide after. And the oxide one is just so dark and
I
rich.
can see
So
that
I'm
it
probably
is
going to
in-
make a few different ones that are going to be food coloring and some more other ones of the oxide inks, because I have a bunch of these re-inkers, and then that way we can do that that will look really nice. Anyways, okay, so once you have your bubble creation figured out there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick out your favorite card base color. And I'm gonna go with this really vibrant lime green because I just love it. It does pick up the green colors, exactly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna layer that on here. And then, because I'm the kind of human that I can't just put this on the card and then call it good. It has to be something more exciting happening. So I'm gonna do my sending happiness your way. And of course, I'm gonna do my little rainbow time here. So I think that in order to get this to do what I want, I'm gonna bring this is my rainbow ink pad. I'm gonna bring the blue to the middle first. And then I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing and bring the blue to the middle first. All right, and then I'm gonna put this on the top up here. Just kind of add in a little bit of a rainbow element.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
sending happiness your way. And then of course, because I have all this bubble mix left over, I might as well add in a little bit of bubbles on the inside too. Now, because I want to have my, I'm a little worried about this paper holding up underneath the colors. You can blow them on here, but I don't know if it will work. So I'm warning you people up above, if you're watching this and you're like, Ellie, that's not gonna work. Let's see what happens here first. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll do it on a separate piece and we'll cover up my mistake. But let's see if it works first. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it would be fun if it does work. Oh, yes, I love it.
Ah.
Oh, very, very
That
fun.
blue on green is interesting.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Actually,
it's
just I absolutely love that so much. I'm totally leaving it. Okay, and then because I want to make this birthday card, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get my stamp again with my rainbow ink pad. I'm going to put my happy birthday inside. And there we have it. So there we have this week's $5 craft. Oh, I did this upside down. Well, that's okay. No worries. Sending happiness your way. Also, happy birthday! All right, friends. So you guys are welcome to come out this week and play with bubbles. And I have lots of different paper for you to play with. And then you can find your most favorite piece. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.